Good morning, students. How are you? Okay. As you all know, we have already finished exercise of the chapter number 1, and today we are going to do some extra questions for the chapter. Okay, let's start. The first question is, what is the unit of body of living organism? So the living organism are made up of cell. The smallest unit of the living organism is cell. Now, next question for you. Write the name of the jelly-like substance filled in the cell. Then, this is the structure of the cell, and the outer boundary is cell membrane, and in the middle place, nucleus is there, and in between, actually, this is the structure of animal cell, and in between these two, this jelly-like substance which is filled, this is called cytoplasm. Okay, now next question for you. Name the cell which guards the opening and closing of stomata. Then opening and closing of the stomata is guarded by this bean-shaped cells, and these are called guard cells, right? These cells are called guard cells. Now next question for you. Name the green pigment found in the leaf of plant. Then the green pigment is called chlorophyll. And next question, fifth question is name the stored food of the plant. Then it is the starch. The food which is prepared during the photosynthesis, that is the glucose, and then it stored in the form of starch. Both are the carbohydrate. Now next question number 6 is what are lichens? Then lichens show the symbiosis. And a symbiotic relationship is found in the lichen. When algae and fungi they live together, and fungus provide the shelter, water, and mineral to the algae, and in return the algae prepares food by the process of photosynthesis. Actually, algae is green, and it can do the photosynthesis, and it need carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll is already present, and water. And water is provided by fungus, then it can prepare the food. And this food is shared to the fungi also, right? So both live together, and this type of the relationship in which both organisms they benefits to each other, such a relationship is called symbiosis. Okay. Now next is, and that organism algae plus fungi is called lichen. Now next question, state the non-photosynthetic part of the lichen. The non-photosynthetic part is fungi. We all know, है ना, I have already told you algae are green, and fungus they are actually saprophytic organism. Because this is saprophytic, it is non-green part, है ना, it cannot make its own food, it depend on algae. Now next is site of photosynthesis in plants. Then the site is always leaf because they are the green, and if any other part, normally it not happens. If that is also green, then that part also can do the photosynthesis, but normally site of photosynthesis are leaves. Sites of photosynthesis leaves. Okay, write the equation of the photosynthesis. Then in this equation you have to write down only the name of the components. Then carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This should be over the and under the arrow. Carbohydrate is formed, carbohydrate plus oxygen. You can write down this equation as like this also. CO2 plus water is equals to carbohydrate, and which carbohydrate is formed during the photosynthesis? It's the glucose C6H12O6 plus oxygen, right? Now definitions. The first definition is nutrition. Then nutrition is a process of taking food inside the body and its utilization in the body. Okay, then number 2, photosynthesis. Then photosynthesis, we know photo means light, है ना, sunlight, and synthesis means to make. Then with the help of the sunlight, making food is called photosynthesis. The process by which green plants synthesize their food using carbon dioxide, water, and minerals in the presence of sunlight is called photosynthesis. Now, next is chlorophyll. Then, chlorophyll is a green colored pigment present in the leaf and that traps the solar energy and also give the green color to the plant parts as leaf. Next is stomata. Then stomata are the tiny openings on the surface of the leaf that allow exchange of gases and also help in the transpiration, right? Okay. Now next definition is parasite. Then an organism that lives and feed on the other living organism or host is called parasite. Okay, now insectivorous plants. Then plants that feed on insect to fulfill their requirement of the nitrogen. They are called insectivorous plants. Now next definition is saprophytes, an organism that feed on dead and decaying organic matter. है ना? Sapro means dead and decaying and phyte means to feed. Then the organism that feed on dead and decaying matter is called saprophyte. Now, the last definition is of symbiosis, then an relations or relationship in which two organisms mutually benefit from each other. That type of relationship is called symbiosis, as I have already given you the example of the lichens, and you can give another example of the leguminous plants and roots of the leguminous plants with the rhizobium bacteria, right? In the root nodules, rhizobium bacteria live, which is also an example of symbiosis. Okay, then enough for today. Now you have to write these extra questions in the notebook, right? Okay, thanks.